Sorry? Ah,
So
yeah.
now, how are things, and what is the update with Victory Garden, and any updates on anything in Pakistan?
Oh, I haven't been, in terms of CDF, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, in terms of CDF.
Yeah. No, we haven't touched base for, I guess about a couple weeks.
Okay.
I have to, yeah, so um, lots of other things are contributing to that, so
Mhm.
I've been sort of trying to, I'm very, I guess, hesitant to step on people's toes, so I try to work within the system, but
Mhm.
I like to get things done, so it makes it a little bit tricky.
I know
So
it is generally very difficult, for
yeah,
people to understand engineering, and
yeah,
so
yeah,
that's fine. That's our approach, and we need to do it, in the right way.
yeah. So I wanted to touch base with you because I know we had tentatively talked about the fall as a good time to start,
Mhm.
and I try to usually put my energies according to deadlines, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
because that's how I have to do it. I mean, I have
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
something like 25 projects, and so you do them according to the dates. So
So
are
I
we
think
still on
the
board with the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
timeline, or do we want to change it?
No, I think the timeline looks very
Timeline's good.
reasonable, and
Okay.
with the recent update,
Mm-hmm.
because I had a very very good session yesterday with Pradeep from Nepal.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and he's a computer software guy,
Mm-hmm.
and already set it up a Sunway research and innovation center in
Mm-hmm.
in Nepal,
Mm-hmm.
and he's working with some NGO in Netherlands, and he's also very active in East Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So he has trained a lot of African folks and in Nepal in the ICT field. Okay, as a
Okay.
trainer,
Mm-hmm.
and all of those students which he has trained can
Mm-hmm.
possibly be enrolled in our Gemba program. So
Okay.
we had a long discussion on that topic, and he's very, very, very interested in moving
Mm-hmm.
forward. And we discussed in at length about the financial model.
Okay.
And he said that most of the NGOs struggle
Mm-hmm.
because of the finances. The
Right.
finances are not in place.
Mm-hmm.
And then he advised me that Mufaddal, don't form another NGO, okay,
Okay. Yeah.
like you are trying to form, SAM Climate Smart Trust. Don't
Right.
incorporate as an NGO, rather than incorporate that as a social enterprise, on the same model of Sunway,
Mm-hmm.
Innovation and Research Center. They are doing all
Mm-hmm.
the good work, but it's not an NGO. It's a for-profit
Mm-hmm.
company, and making money also at the same time. Okay, and doing good
So
work also.
what's his organization called? Innovation and
Sunway, Sun, SUN,
yeah.
Way, uh, Research and Innovation Center.
Oh, okay.
Wonderful, stuff I saw. I mean, actually, I met Pradeep, through Lloyd about, say, 2 years ago. I mean, all
I
the
think I
people
met
in
him as well. I think I met him. Does he do, he was going to design a toilet for me, like what do you call it? Organic toilet
No,
for
I
my
think that is
garden.
he's a different gentleman. I don't know. I forgot his name.
Oh, okay.
He was in one
Okay.
of our C4 sessions, right? And now I
Yeah.
think, I guess, Aubrey has also designed the solar roof toilets. So, that
Okay.
toilet is a very popular,
Yes, that's true.
popular, mechanism, and I like it.
Yeah.
I like Aubrey's design, because I know that I can get all those things manufactured in China, because China is very
Right.
close, to us, because
Right.
of the
Right.
China-Pakistan economic corridor situation. And that
Right.
is the biggest development I had, that I started on my topic of lean engineering person. So I said, well, I have to lean engineer businesses, and I also am engaged in lean engineering the families. So whoever comes and they are interested in our program, we have a session with them. I evaluate their issues and problems, and then I look at their strengths and all the problems which they are currently facing, why they are facing the problem. So basically, that's what we do. We analyze the situation and then provide them the solution. So one
Right.
of
So,
those re-engineering, situation was two companies in Balochistan. Okay, one is this SWAT. It's a tracking company, that do personal tracking as well as vehicle tracking. And that is very, very important, for everybody in this kind of environment now, because people
mhm,
are getting sick, and old people and children needs those tracking situations. So we know exactly where they are.
mhm,
Okay. And the vehicle tracking is a little smart one because it actually reduces the cost of the vehicle also. It helps them run the vehicle in an optimized way. So I like the company profile, and that company needed some re-engineering in terms of difficulties with the partners and stuff like that. So
mhm,
generally when the partners and founders doesn't get along, the company gets into trouble. So
mhm,
that was the topic. And then the other topic was the gentleman whom I am actually have appointed him as a sort of a director in my company, Sam Stickwell, Global Pakistan, is also very experienced in managing CPEC project. He's an
oh,
ex-army man, very,
mhm,
very, qualified gentleman in terms of, solving problem. And I like army men because one of the army men saved my life, when I was on the, when I was an engineering student on an, industrial trip. In our final year, we go to the industrial trips, and in one of those trips, I was in Kashmir, you know, because of these landslides and number of other things, we were almost gone. I mean, because the landslides was there, road was gone, and we were
mm,
climbing on the mountain against the landslide. And I know I
mhm.
was also almost going, I mean, through with the slide. And this army man actually hold my hand and saved my life, basically.
Wow. Wow.
So I know I owe that to,
Mhm,
they are very rugged people. And then they guided us and coached us. And one of the things they did was to, throw away everything which is not necessary, from your body. you know. So we
wow.
threw away everything, luggage, everything was gone, become light. Okay, because
Mhm.
don't actually, carry the
To
burden with
travel.
you
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
while you are surviving.
Right. Right.
So then
Necessity
I threw
only.
everything I had, and then I was actually a sort of a food supply person. Because there are a lot of orchards in Kashmir and Kashmiri apple, and a lot of things are very, very popular. So I was
Mhm,
actually, everybody was scared and afraid as to what's going to happen to them. And I said, okay, now whatever has happened has happened. I actually got a life back, okay, because I was almost gone. So then I started, doing the supplies for them. I was to collect the apples and this and that. And then, I used to feed everybody, So that was an 8-member team who actually decided, were bold enough to climb the mountain
oh,
out of
wow.
about 30 people in the bus.
Mhm,
Because there were two
wow.
choices. Okay, either the bus goes along with the slide, and we all
Mhm.
fall in the river, and because we
Or,
saw the road actually just disappeared in front of our eyes.
wow. Ooh,
So
scary.
we thought it is our turn now. We can go with the bus. And then 8 of us decided that no, we don't want to go with the bus, and we will climb on top.
Funny what you do when you think it's no
Yeah.
choice.
So actually, it
So
was a
you're
group of
working. So you're working
engineers
with.
as well as this army man actually
Right.
became our savior.
Yeah.
So we still
So
remember
you're
that
working with them.
occasion, and all of our engineers, colleagues who were with us.
Mhm,
And I mean, I'm a kind of an adventurous person. So the whole 30-member class was there. We were
mhm,
on this trip, and we decided on from one point in Abbottabad to take basically a walk. We hiked from all the way from Abbottabad to Kashmir, Azad Kashmir. So it was a one-day beautiful walk. The weather was beautiful. Everything was there. We reached, Muzaffarabad around, dinner time. And then the weather was getting worse. So we decided we don't want to stay here and we should catch a bus and go. And this is what happened in the way, So,
So let's talk about this because we're in almost the end of May, so we've
mhm,
got June, July, August.
right.
Um, what date are your students registered? Like when
Well, I
does your
think
course
the
starts?
registration process now, and I'm
Yeah,
not actually doing everything on my own. So there
right.
are three places where registrations are going on. Okay.
Okay.
Basically four places. It will happen in Nepal also now through Pradip, and and then we are doing it in Pakistan through our a team of engineers and stuff like that,
So you
and
don't have
then the two
actually
other
anyone,
countries.
so you don't have anyone registered at this moment.
Well, I mean, everybody was sort of looking at the issue which everybody has was this, that how can you offer a $53,000 MBA program for just $7,200? And Lloyd and including everybody else thinks that this is not doable, and you are a crazy person. How can you offer something like this? And I said, well, I mean, what you guys are missing is this, that you are looking at the cost of the program in a particular university. I know even a university in Pakistan doesn't offer that kind of a value. Forget about the universities in USA and Canada. It's very expensive. MBA
Mhm.
programs are very expensive. So I said, well, I can do this because this is an executive program, and the gentleman who is joining me, the STEM graduate, is working with me 18 hours a day with me on my program, so that I can make them a millionaire in 53 months. That's what my promise is. So my program is 100% different. It's not a regular program. It's a program to actually learn new things, because that's what Bill Susinski taught me, that Mufaddal, none of the university programs are offering what our technology is talking about. Okay. And
Mhm.
you must have read his book, right? The
I
children will
haven't,
live for
no.
our world. I mean, I will share the copy with you. Read that. That is actually a summary of all the things which we have gone through since I know Energime. Energime University didn't existed at that time. So we developed that thing, and that concept is very powerful, because wherever you go, you set up a university and train the local people. local
Okay,
local
so
people are the
where
people.
do they get, yeah, we don't, we certify, our job is to certify them in the Climate Smart Victory Garden, correct?
Mhm.
So your job is, so we can do that probably in a, what did we say? In an 8-week or 12-week period,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So it's just, what is a victory garden? How do you design it?
Correct.
Um, uh, uh, but I still don't understand um the outcome of it. Like, are they, uh, and I think that's my difficulty with your program is that I don't understand how we integrate into it. Like when
Okay,
I usually
now
do
I
it,
will answer that question in one sentence.
okay,
Okay, and that's what the whole discussion which I had with Pradeep also. Pradeep is
okay,
interested in agriculture, okay, innovative
okay,
organic agriculture.
right?
And I'm trying to prove to him, and I've shared the 168 slides of Dr. Paul Olivier with him yesterday,
Hmm.
that okay, the technology which is famous, okay, like the biogas technology, German invention, is very famous in India, Pakistan, and people have spent a lot of money setting up the biogas system. Okay.
Hmm.
And Dr. Paul Olivier thinks that that is the dumbest invention the Germans did, besides the toilets. I mean, he considers toilet as more dumber invention, whoever invented the toilet. So Anyway, so I told him that I have a contract with Dr. Paul Olivier. And the contract I have with him is this, that I'm not going to be changing any of his designs. Okay. All of his
Okay.
designs, which he has given it to me, I'm going to be duplicating it to the dot. Okay. In my Wheel of Life Farm school. And I am the only one who is integrating the three technologies together. And this is what yesterday we worked on, because, now the site is there. And we agreed on this particular fact that since Mufaddal, one site is there, my research center is there, let's build something and show it to the people. Okay, how the three
Yeah.
technologies got
Yeah,
integrated.
I thought that uh, the one in Vietnam was a site already.
Which one?
The one in Vietnam?
Oh, one Vietnam site is there. I mean, because Dr. Paul Olivier has identified a village, Dang Kno,
Right,
500 village. But now people have to travel to Vietnam. Okay.
right.
A lot of the people are not comfortable doing it, I mean,
Yeah. So
so
he has an actual site. Do you have
he has
pictures
already
of
a
his
site
site?
identified. Okay.
Okay.
So
So is it
Dunkano,
an operational
yeah,
site?
yeah,
It
Dunkano
is
is
an
one of
operational
the
site?
villages out there.
Yeah.
That's where he is currently working with the people there, the coffee
Okay, so
farmers,
it's an
basically.
yeah, so it's an actual operation
Actual
site.
operating site. And that's where he is
Okay.
actually building his stoves and everything else. He's working with the local coffee farmers over there and helping them improve their lives. Okay, because coffee is
Okay.
a
And
is a is a
so
commercial
what
business also.
right. So how big is the site?
It's a 500 family village.
500.
So that's what we thought, that 110 home, five of those communities can be built, and we can build 5 farm schools over there, which
Right.
serves
So no,
the
let's
110
go
home
back to
community.
yeah. So what is the name of the village?
Dunkno.
How do you spell that?
I think it's DONG and then
Dong
KNO.
KNO.
Yeah.
Dong No Village.
I'll probably, I'll try to pull out that email which Dr. Olivia sent me about
Okay.
this
So
Dunkano. He
there's
says Dalit is
500.
a very big, plan. Dalit
Yeah.
University, and
So
Dalit is a
500.
big city.
Yeah. One sec. So 500 people are living there now, or it's being designed for
No, no,
500.
no.
Which
They are
one?
living. They are living there.
They're living there. And
Already
so
there.
are they operating a farm already?
I mean, they are doing whatever they are doing with their whatever resources they have available. And Dr.
Oh, so
Paul
it's just a
Olivia,
village. It's
yeah,
just a
yeah, it's just
village.
a village. And
Oh,
Dr.
so
Paul
it's not
Olivia
your village that.
decided that the people are poor, they are struggling, and if we can help them out, by
Oh,
building
oh,
this.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So it's an. I thought you designed the village. Okay, so it's just
No,
a
the village
village,
exists.
and he wants to do a project there.
And he said, Mufaddal, instead of working big, in Dalit University and setting up a joint venture with them and, putting all your students in Dalit University and all that stuff, let's, build 5 of your models in this small village, okay, and send some of your students out here. I will teach them everything, how this thing is done and what are we talking about. And I will train them, and then they can go back and duplicate the model, anywhere else in the world.
And when is that date? Start date?
Well, I mean, he's already working there. He's in Dalit. He's working on this for. I mean, he is not
Mhm.
in United States anymore. Dalit is his home, and he has
Okay.
married
Has he started
Vietnamese.
any plans or anything like that?
Well, I mean, he has given everything, I need. Whatever else I need, like I said, like I was working on a 200-acre project, and it transformed the 200-acre project into 1-acre Wheel of Life farm. I
Right.
converted that into a farm school. So, I mean, anything I need from him, he's available to solve my problem. Okay.
Hmm.
And from engineering perspective. So
Okay.
now, for
So
instance, Pradip is saying that suppose if we don't have 1-acre site, if we have a smaller site, so he says, what can we do? I said, you give me the site, I will send the site details to Dr. Paul Olivier, and he's going to design something exactly for your site. Because it's up
Okay.
to us, you know.
So basically, there are no sites for the students to go to work for experience right now, but
Well,
that's in
currently,
development.
currently, I believe that the site, two sites are there. Their experts are there. Dr. Paul Olivier is there in this Dunkano site, already working with the villagers, building
Mhm.
this, the gasifiers. We have shown the gasifiers also. And so, Mufaddal, obviously, we need money to, now start giving it to 500 of these homes, That's what his plan was. Give one gasifier to each home, because 500 families lives there. So give them 500 gasifiers, so that the quality of life improves.
Okay, so we don't have that site ready yet. So the site in Nepal would be what's the plans for that one?
I mean, it's there. I mean, we had a long discussion yesterday, and
Mhm.
we are ready, to actually build the first one in that site, as well as Pradeep was mentioning that he has sites available in. Since I'm in Uganda, and he has worked very well with in East Africa and Rwanda, because he goes to
Mhm.
Rwanda every year and trains his ICT people. So he has about 300 already trainers trained in the ICT program. So I
Mhm.
was asking him to enroll those 300 trainers into our Gamba program. So we teach them climate smart agriculture, Victory
Right,
Garden, everything else.
right. So you would have a section for Victory Garden, a section for ICT training, a section for
Exactly.
right. Okay. And so I still don't have your timeline for when that is. So I guess you're working on that.
Well, I think
Um,
my timeline appears to be as soon as people are enrolled,
mhm.
we will just put them to work on these sites. One is in
Mhm.
Nepal,
So
one.
what is you said you're working on how many people? What's the number of people that you want in the program?
Well, I mean,
50,
in
50?
Pakistan, in India, there are lots of them. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
my Indian team is also working on enrolling them because India is in big trouble now, A lot of people
Yes.
are having a lot of issues. And that is
Yes.
what we will be actually diverting the Indian people, Indian graduates, engineers into Nepal, because Nepal is closer. They can cross the border over there and, take care of it. So Indians will go to Nepal for this kind of
Mm-hmm.
a training. And then in
Mm-hmm.
Pakistan, still I have about 50,000 engineers from Pakistan Engineering Council. And we are working
Okay. So
with
you
them
have
because they will be supporting these engineers also, Pakistan Engineering Council, and we will be
so
actually engaging them in our project.
right. So 50,000 engineers. And we've already decided on the cost for the lifelong and all of that kind of
Correct, correct.
stuff.
All those things we have
Right.
actually worked out the
Those
plan.
yeah, those are already so there is the lifelong we have already agreed on.
Mhm.
We haven't agreed on the price for the actual courses,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
And that
Right.
is your price, which you will actually determine. Once the
Yes.
people becomes a member, we will find out, like what I'm doing now. You will be actually looking at each individual and then deciding what kind of training I need to give to this guy or this lady
Well,
or
that's your
whoever.
part, but when they take the course with us, it's all going to be the same. It's going to be
Yeah,
the
I mean, Victory
so
Garden is what I want to do is this. No, I'm not saying it's all same. Okay. For instance, I'm putting one engineer in collaboration with an SME who is in trouble.
Mhm.
Okay. And yesterday I was having a same discussion with Pradeep. He mentioned that, Mufaddal, I'm very, very tied up with my current project of organic agriculture and everything. And since he's an IT guy, he's integrating the IT technologies, in the agriculture. So he says, Mufaddal, I'm busy with my project, but I mean, if I start enrolling people and start working on your project, I will not have the time for that.
right.
So how we are
That's why
going
I
to
keep
do it?
asking about the same as me.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
keep
So
asking what's the timeline?
his question was that how are we going to be managing this? So I said, well, Pradeep, like an organization, you are a social enterprise organization. Sunway, research and innovation center is my client. Okay. And I am going to be linking one engineer from Nepal, maybe from your city, with you. because I will be enrolling them in my Gamba program, and I will be linking them to you. So now you have an additional resource. So I'm giving you, the manpower and extra things, for your business. So now my target, I told him exactly that, okay, whatever your revenue stream today is, whatever amount of money you're making it, right? So now when I link up my Gamba students with your enterprise, with your social enterprise, the target of that Gamba student will be to take your enterprise from the current level to $1 million PGC business in 53 months. That's a target. The student, the engineer will be working with you to attain that target. So that's how, we actually, the model should be simplified. That my Gamba engineers, for instance, now a Gamba engineer is working with Sunway Research and Innovation Center. So his requirement or her requirement will be a very unique requirement. Whatever is your program, actually, whatever the people require, I deliver, I train them and I, customize the situation for that problem. Okay, so it's a victory garden model only. So what we are suggesting is this, that, whatever the student needs, when they are linked with a business, each business will have a unique problems, okay, to solve. And
So
our engineer,
do you have someone that's doing that placement work, or you're doing that?
pardon me?
Who is doing that? So we call that placement in Canada. You place them with someone. Who is doing that work? You,
No, I mean,
or
I
is
am
there?
actually linking the students up with businesses, who needs
Right,
re-engineering.
right. So so you'll be contracting him to do the ICT training, and he'll also get a. And how long is his course
Now,
for the
I tell you
ICT?
exactly what we are planning to do, with Mr. Pradip's, program, because what will happen is that I have got 50,000 engineers join in Pakistan, and I've got 50,000 dairy farms also in Pakistan. Okay. And all those dairy farms are struggling, and since we are talking about agriculture projects, engineers do not work in farms. So I'm
Right.
going to be linking each of these engineers, which will be enrolled, with one farmer. Okay, that's your
Mm-hmm.
project, man. Look at
Right.
the farm, elevate the farm, to this level. So that means 50,000 farmers are actually linked with this 50,000 engineers, and they are working on each unique project. Okay, and whatever help they will need, because each farms will have different kind of issues and problems, based on how they operate and how they are doing things, So each farm will be linked with an engineer, and that engineer is going to be re-engineering the farm.
Right.
So that's a model.
So
And that's where the
yes.
money is also coming from, okay? Because I am telling these farmers, they are rich people, okay? I mean, dairy farmers are rich people. They have a lot of money. Okay, so now I am telling them that, okay, if you are interested in even living, getting a permanent resident status in USA, come up with 110,000 PGC and I'll get you the immigration. And then you work on my Texas farm, the dairy farm which I'm buying in Texas. It's a 163-acre farm joint, which we are getting for $1.7 million, which I worked for quite a while. It's about a couple of years ago, since I worked with Bill on that, because Bill Susinski and his team couldn't come to Karachi. So then we collectively decided that, Mufaddal, let's set up a model in Texas. Texas is same as Karachi, weather-wise and everything else. So it will be very comfortable for people and farmers to come to USA, and then we will train them in our technologies, there. So that was a
And
model, and based on that
where
model, I actually am, I have identified this farm also, and the farm is still available. It belongs to an Indian gentleman who has now increased the price from 1.7 to 2 million, because I think the main road has been made and the site is little got
infrastructure? Yeah.
infrastructure has already been built. So we are
Right.
negotiating that, and he says, okay, 2 million. So 2 million is fine, but the farm is still available, and we can
And how many
163
acres is that?
acres,
163, right?
lot of land.
Yeah.
I'll share
Texas.
the details of that farm also with you. But that will be one of our sites, where we can train people in Victory Garden and everything else.
Right, right. So so your course, the Gamba course, is how many weeks?
53 months.
53 months. Wow.
But that's the time
So
I'm
that's,
giving them, to start,
yeah,
take a
so
business
that's 4 years,
about almost 4 years.
4.5 years, four and
And
a
the
half.
target is, I'm giving them the target also, okay? That for instance, if the business is making, say, $1,000 a month today, right? So I'm giving them the target at least double their income in 1,000 days. That's an
So three
immediate target
years.
for a student, which is actually the rule of thumb, when we
Yeah.
get the
So that's
financing
three
for
years.
about 3 years. Okay.
Okay. So
So I'm giving them
where
the
in,
target of 1,000 days to double. And then
mhm.
once you are actually have achieved the doubling target, that okay, whatever revenue the business was making, now the revenue has been doubled in 1,000 days. Now you actually, the journey, the rest of the journey will be easy, because now they know exactly how to double the money, and they will be able to multiply it very fast.
So that's that. So you're going to, obviously the first part of the course is going to be around strategic planning and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
where in the 53 months, where do you want them to learn about the Victory Garden?
Well, I think I want them to learn about Victory Garden and about community leadership, all the
Okay.
skills which you have. I want them to learn as soon as they join the program,
Oh, so you want them to learn about Victory Garden and community leadership.
right? Because I think those
Okay.
are the skills they need.
Okay.
And once they learn that, then I will ask them that now you are trained, okay, apply it, immediately apply it.
So what you really are looking for is not so much, obviously you want them to know what the Victory Garden is, but you want them to really, it's about how to
How
work
to
with the
manage the
community,
project,
get, sorry,
how to
how to,
manage the project, whatever client I give them, how to actually take that business from the current status to a million PGC business. That's the graduation requirement.
right, but who's going to who's going to train them in that?
Who is going to?
Train them in taking a business from $1,000 to $2,000 in three
That
years.
is
Who's
the
going to
model
train?
which I have developed. I know it, I can do
So,
that. I will be
okay,
providing them the Tayyab entrepreneurship training. Okay, that's my area.
right.
Tayyab entrepreneurship meaning that we will be conducting the business without the engagement of insurance companies and banks. That's the only difference.
Hmm.
Because
So,
Sam Climate
so when
Smart
I think of
Trust is
community,
financing it.
when I think of community leadership, I
Uh-huh.
think of working with the community. So it's different than what you're talking about. It's about how to consult with the community, how to have, you know, uh, social
Yeah,
media
yeah,
with the
yeah.
company,
Exactly.
things like that. But
And I
that's not
think
what it really.
those, I understand, Joy, and those are the skills which they require.
Okay.
Correct? Before
So
they even
yeah.
even go out there. I mean, if they cannot communicate with the families they are working with, and they are having
Okay.
issues with that, we need them to train them on them. And ideally, ladies are very patient. They can work
Mhm.
with the the community members and stuff like that. So I basically the ladies will be trained in that. Probably they will
Mhm.
work with one of our engineers, men engineers also doing their part in
Mhm.
construction and stuff like that. And then the ladies are going to be actually operating the Wheel of Life Farm School as a leader,
Mhm.
operating the kitchen and operating the restaurant and everything else, operating the healthcare center. I believe the
Mhm.
ladies can do that work very nicely.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of because my mind thinks about implementation, and I struggle with your program about the implementation all the time.
Mhm.
Um, I just don't understand how it's implemented because if they're going to say, for example, if the student is going to engineer is
Mhm.
going to be placed with a company
Mhm.
like a dairy farm,
Mhm.
how do they consult with the community? For what reason?
Well, actually, we are building 110 home self-sustaining community in that dairy farm.
And those people they're going to
People who
train
are living there.
to okay, Okay, I got it.
right?
Okay,
Those
so
same people living, close to the farm, who doesn't
so what?
have, education, good housing, everything else.
So you're not going to do that in Texas. You're going to do that in
Oh,
Pakistan.
everywhere, wherever these farms
Okay,
exist.
so basically you're building like a subdivision
Uh-huh.
and then training them to do a victory garden. Is
Correct,
that right?
correct.
Okay. All right. So I didn't really have to know about the other stuff really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But I think your
It's
victory
good to
garden,
know.
I believe, Joanne, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Victory garden training will enable them to become an entrepreneur, self-sustaining entrepreneur.
Yes.
Correct?
The individual, not an engineer
Individual,
particularly, but an
the individual.
individual,
Okay,
like
and
the
that is what I
homes.
want them to do.
Okay. Because that's called a home garden.
Correct. Home garden,
Yeah.
apply it in your home, apply it everywhere else. So now they know, learning from you, how to become an entrepreneur themselves. Okay. So they know
Right.
the power of entrepreneurship.
So what we say, no, we don't, what we teach them is the victory garden, the victory market garden, how to sell their products.
Right, exactly. And they don't
Yeah.
have to worry about selling it because, whatever they grow, we buy. So selling is not an issue for them anymore.
Right. So they would just have to know how to manage.
Exactly. Their home business. And I think that gives me a good thought, Joanne, that, okay, these 110 homes, okay, will be also generating the income, from whatever they are growing, right? They can grow.
Well, they should be.
They should be.
What we say is that you nourish yourself, feed yourself, and then sell the rest.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, so I can see the homeowners. So we're not going to be training the homeowners. We're training the engineers.
We are training
And
the individuals who are, part of our program. And they will be then training the homeowners and, whomsoever. For instance, you are
okay,
training, I tell you something, what is happening? You are training one lady who is going to be the lead, who is going to be leading the Wheel of Life Farm School 110 home community. Now that lady
okay.
who has been trained by you will be training how to build these victory gardens in those 110 homes.
Mm-hmm.
So you are actually creating a trainer.
Right. And who does the we would have to do the certification then.
Everything else your program. I'm not going to be engaged in it. My role will be to make sure that whatever we agree on, I pay you for those students, and you actually train them, and that's it. Your role is over after that.
Okay.
I
So
like the
how
program
many?
very much. I actually like the program because this is a home based
Yeah.
entrepreneurship, which ladies
Yeah.
can do.
That's right.
The
That's what
man
it was
doesn't have to be
for. That's how
engaged,
it was developed for that.
right? It was developed for
Um,
that.
well, I tell you, I'm speaking to two huge U.S. firms this week
Okay.
who wants to have this program.
Okay.
So, and they contacted me. This is
Wonderful.
a
Excellent.
yeah, and the Global Climate Smart Group wants it as well, and they
Uh-huh.
have they're in 70 countries,
Wonderful.
and it
Excellent.
was my program that they're choosing. So that's
Correct.
why
So
I
I think
wanted
we are getting close to getting your program in all UN member countries, basically. With the
right,
70 countries, it's a wonderful accomplishment.
yeah,
Now,
and
our
that's why I'm
model,
asking you about. That's why I'm asking you about the timeline because I said to someone, I said, if I'm working with someone, that's who is first in line.
correct, correct,
If I
correct.
know it's not going to happen, then I go to
No,
who,
I
but
want you, Joanne, I want you to be very, very comfortable in terms of, when I actually, people are there, they are engaged, they are working with the business. I'm enrolling them in your Victory Garden anyways. Because when they
right,
become Sam Stickwell Club member, they're automatically the Victory Garden member, right?
right,
So the membership is
right,
already taken care of.
right, we already
After they
decided.
become a member, then it's up to whatever is needed by them. Then you look at them and then you say, okay, this is when and where I'm going to be delivering the whatever is your need,
Right.
and this is
So
the
the
cost of
50,
doing it.
Right. The
as a member.
50,000 yeah, the 50,000 engineers who are taking the Gamba program,
Mhm.
those are the ones that you're saying are going to be our members, correct?
Everybody who joins Sam's TQL Club, not just
Mm-hmm.
engineers,
Okay.
everybody, a family, mother, a teacher, whoever joins Sam's TQL Club with 10 PGC, okay, which is 20 Canadian dollars, also
Mm-hmm.
gets the membership of, your Victory Garden,
Which we said was $10.
which is like annual, we agreed on an annual membership of 10 Canadian dollars, right?
Right.
So out of the 20 Canadian dollars I'm getting for the annual
Mm-hmm.
membership of Sam's TQL Club, I'm going to be giving you 10 Canadian dollars, so they are annual member. After they
Right.
become the annual member, then we can offer them the life membership once they join the Gamba program.
Okay.
You start small and then build up. So everybody can
Okay.
join and everybody will become a member of, Victory Garden also along with the Sam's TQL Club. So that's it.
Mm-hmm.
10 Canadian dollar everybody starts with, and then after that they are done. They
But
are
the
members, then they
$10,
are good, they are members.
yeah, but the $10 was based on the volume, not the individual.
That's what I'm saying. No? I'm giving you the volume, no? All the people who are
Yeah.
engaged. I'm talking about 2
Yeah.
billion mothers. Again, I'm coming back
Well,
to that number.
yeah, I don't know about that, but
No, no, I'm
I
coming back to that number again because that's what Mariam came up with. Okay, that I want to train all the mothers and make them. And I mean,
right. But I was talking about the life membership for the engineers was
right.
what
Mhm.
I thought
But I
you
think
meant.
whoever
But
joins our program join with
it was the
5,300.
$10, right? That the $10 was because it was based on volume. We
Right.
gave you a reduced rate.
Correct.
So yeah.
So I
So
think we agree on that. And now the
if the
other,
numbers are there,
yeah, yeah,
if the
obviously they
numbers
are
are
there.
there,
They are there.
okay.
Like you're
Uh,
so since what we have to understand, Joanne, is this, that all of those 50,000 people are not going to be becoming a member instantly. Okay, that's a target. We know that those
mhm,
engineers do exist in Pakistan. Okay,
right.
and they are
Yeah.
unemployed. So
Mhm,
now, since engineers also exist, and since the farmers and SMEs are also in trouble, they are looking for survival now. So when they
right.
enroll in my program, then we are giving them the survival skills
Right.
to survive.
So you just need to, which I've asked you for, is to write up something about what it is that you want and the timeline, because I don't think you're going to have I don't think the timeline for the fall is going to be feasible, because
Well, I think it is, Joanne, what I'm saying is this, that, okay, you take care of the projects which you are currently working on, right? I mean, there's
okay.
70 country project and everything which you are doing. Okay, no issues over there. Now, once anybody becomes a Sam's TQL Club member, we will also make them the member of the, Victory Garden. And you will exactly
Okay.
know how many people have made, how many people are my members now. And when they
Right.
become the member, then we plan accordingly. Okay, I've got now 100 people, 200 people, 500 people. This month I've got 1,000 people enrolled. And once the enrollment begins, initially there's a difficulty. Once
Right.
people see the results, then I think there will be a crowd coming in.
Right.
Okay, and I
So
believe
why
that,
don't we leave it? Why don't we leave it until you have your, let's go numbers by numbers. Let's leave it when you have your first 100.
okay,
We will talk and
right,
then schedule it according to the next 100 or the next,
correct, correct. So what I want, to answer your question, Joanne, I
yeah.
don't want you to spend any time, okay, specifically on this particular project for giving Victory Garden training to the Sam's TQL club members and Gamba students and stuff like that. Okay, that program
Mm-hmm.
is on. The scope is huge. Lot of STEM graduates are unemployed, because of this COVID-19, and I believe my program is actually a survival for them because with Sam's Climate Smart Trust, what I'm offering them is this. Okay, and this current re-engineering situation, because everybody asks the question, We don't have food to eat and you are asking us to pay, this much and get education. So food is
Right.
primary, man. Let us live first, We don't
Mm-hmm.
have food to eat and you are saying, oh, I'm going to educate you. Okay.
Right.
So to
No, I
answer
get
that
it. So,
question, what we are giving them is this. Okay. Once they join SAM's TQL club, then we are giving them the assurance that fine, now you are a family member and whatever is your kitchen requirement, maintain your family, basic needs is food basically, and education for
mm-hmm.
children. So those two requirements is met, whether you have the money or not, because you are a family member, I have to take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
And my model is not to give a charity. I'm not giving them the charity. I'm giving them the Kardan Hasana so that now, and that's where the Victory Garden training is very, very vital, because now
Right.
they have skills to really make some money.
That's right. That's exactly our model.
Right? Exactly. This is what we want to do. So
All
market
right.
is
Well, I'll
huge.
leave it. Yeah. So I will leave it with you to sort of tell me when you have some students, and then I can
Correct.
respond by saying we
So what
this
I
is what
will
we'll do.
formally now do is join with this, with your alignment is this. Again, because, I mean, since we didn't had any formal sort of, documents,
Yeah.
etc. prepared. So I was not talking about Victory Garden with anybody. Okay.
Right.
But
Good.
I know
Well,
it
we
in
won't
my
talk about
mind.
it on.
Yeah, I
Right.
know it in my mind. We don't need
Right.
any advertisement. Your program doesn't need any advertisement because,
Right.
I mean, it's there, it's established. So I
Right.
will simply, whenever a person joins my program, not going to be talking about the Victory Garden training, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give them a pleasant surprise. Okay, you also
Okay.
got a membership of Victory Garden, and your
Okay.
trainer is Mrs. Joanne Kerr. Enjoy
Okay.
some time with her. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can work, just like you said, I like it better that we do it when it can be developed. So,
Correct, correct.
you know,
So let's
and
work on it. And I think what I want you to do for me is this, that I have given you a site. Okay. Consider the 163-acre site
mhm,
as your site for all the
okay.
programs you want to run in Texas. Okay, you become a
Mhm,
site leader, provide them with all agricultural trainings and anything you want to do, with respect to uplifting the families and all the families which are in trouble in USA. You're talking about First Nation people, you're talking about a lot of Black families, so this site which we are acquiring is still available, you know. So I
mhm,
will be buying the site, but then you can actually lead the project and provide anything you want to do with that site. It's your site. Since you have given me so many things, Joanne, I want, and I am not in Texas, and Hashim is the gentleman who knows about this whole program. Okay, he's my very, very reliable friend and a colleague and a fellow chemical engineer. You can always work with him.
mhm,
Anything you want to share, anything you want to discuss, you're always welcome to discuss with him. He's just like me. Okay, nobody
okay.
else. He's just like me. He knows about the Texas dairy farm because he has spent a lot of time working on it. And I am
Mhm.
going to be, now he's an engineer, you are also an engineer, and you guys together form a
No, I'm
team.
not an engineer. I'm not an engineer.
What I'm saying is this, that okay, you've got so many engineers in your program,
Yeah.
you've got access to so many engineers, right?
Yes.
So that way, I think you guys will get along very nicely. And Hashim would love to work with you because he is actually a more detailed analysis person than what you are. Sometimes I get tired, with the questions he asks,
Okay.
because he will say, he asks a question like this, Mufaddal, okay, I'm going to get you all the family members from our community to live in Texas dairy farm. Have you done any analysis on the site that, earthquake will not come over there? He asked me questions like that, So he's
Mhm.
very, very careful. He wants to make sure that everything is done in a very, very fail-proof manner. And,
Yeah.
so I like him. I like
Mhm.
him. We have studied together. We have been friends for so long. And that is one person who has been my Sam's TQL club member for last 5 years. He has already invested the money, okay? He's a life member. Okay, more than, he spent more than 5,300 PGCs, okay, which is $7,200. So he is a life member, and he represents my, my company and me and everybody in USA. And I've introduced them to all this, because I was not able to really spend time with Jenny Carrington and Mariam and everybody else. So actually, I removed myself from the C4 network discussions, and I put Hashim over there. So Hashim knows everybody, and Hashim is willing to support as a chemical engineer, whatever I am supposed to do. Hashim can do it in USA. He's based in
Okay.
Detroit, Michigan. Okay, and very close to you, same weather, same pattern, stuff like that. And wonderful thing is that his sister lives in Toronto,
Oh, okay.
so they've got a very close relationship, with Toronto also, with Canada also.
Yeah, sure. I guess I'll see him on the different networks. I've been exiting different networks because it's too much to
No, it's
maintain.
too
So,
much, too much. I'm not doing it anymore
oh,
also.
yeah,
I'm not actually
it's too much.
communicating with all
I'm
of
busy
them.
developing curriculum and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
so I mean,
actually, I been
I
asked,
have a video series that's coming out in
right.
the fall.
Uh-huh.
So it's
Now, the
a lot.
other point which I want to make before we conclude is this, that, okay, our program of enhancing the NGO CSR funds by
Hmm.
5% is on, okay? Gold
Okay.
is available. Gold is available from Sierra Leone. Gold is available from, Uganda, from DRC. That gold gets transformed into our Ajman Emirates Gold Refinery in Dubai, into Sam's Holochain Gold. The data center will be maintained by Kyocera. So, for instance, your company, your organization becomes a member, and whatever funds you have for doing your projects, we can enhance that fund by 5%, and you have to do all the transactions in your e-wallet. You will be doing all the transactions in pure gold coin. The pure gold coin will be available in your e-wallets, and whatever dollars you have will be enhanced by 5%. So you can actually execute all your projects, inflation free.
Hmm. How does that work?
So Kyocera is actually, big savior for me. And the biggest, outcome I had, and I said I got a return on investment, for all the time I invested in C4, over 3 months, right, almost, in that
Right.
sessions which we were having. And, you spend a lot of time also over there. So now the
Yeah.
biggest return on investment from that, C4 group was Terence, okay, wonderful
Yeah.
gentleman. And Terence introduced me to Kyocera.
Right.
So we had a
So
wonderful meeting with
you're
them,
working
and
with Kyocera right now?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, Terence is
Oh,
already working with them, and my
right.
model is there that whenever the site is ready, whenever you purchase the Buffalo Gold Mine or whatever site you want to work on, like the Dallas site, also they know about it. The Garg Dairy Farm. So he says, well, they will be coming in to build the data center.
Wow.
That's their role. They will be building the data center, and in return to what they are offering me is that I'm marketing, giving them the market access to wherever I operate. So they love it. I mean, zero marketing for them.
Hmm.
And I said, all my STEM graduates, all my students will be actually using your Kyocera smartphone, which is shock proof, and I mean, wonderful phone. I'm
So
using
when
it for
was the
myself
last
for
time?
last 2
I
years.
know, yeah, I know the C4 group hasn't met for a while. I'm not on it because I removed myself as well. Um, but
No,
so you're still in this.
I removed myself from all of that, because what was
Yeah.
happening was that Lloyd was actually criticizing my postings. Okay, I post my update and he says, Mufaddala, we are tired of listening to your videos anymore. We don't want to listen to you. Okay, so when somebody makes a statement like that, then I said, forget it. I'm not going to be spending my time. I charge for my time. If I'm giving you the free time and you are making a comment like that, I'm not interested. Okay, so what I told Lloyd was that I will be posting, keeping you posted, and I think you are also in my broadcast group, Joanne. So, whatever update is that, I'm posting it to you. If you feel appropriate that, okay, the group needs that kind of, information, you post it over there yourself. So it's more efficient, that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I had an agreement with Lloyd on that I will be sharing it with him. I share it with him on Facebook because he's
Mm-hmm.
always available in Facebook also. And I share it him on WhatsApp also. And he has formed so
Okay.
many WhatsApp groups also, Whenever he
Oh,
finds something, he forms a WhatsApp group.
yeah, no.
So it was very difficult for me to keep track of what group is what. So I said,
Well, I told
Lloyd,
he
wherever
asked.
you are,
He,
you do the posting and, so I can free up my time.
yeah, no, I told him not to put me on any other group.
Yeah. So I
So
think we have to focus now on delivery, and yesterday
that's right.
exactly, I was talking about that also with Pradeep. And, I said,
Mm-hmm.
well, I consider sort of a lot of these WhatsApp groups and discussions and all those things as COTs, cooperative of talkers. They talk, they talk, they talk, but nothing, very little happens. So I said, well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of the COT now and I'm developing COPs, cooperative of practitioners,
Mm. Yeah.
and,
No, I can't take the talking. I don't mind discussing things, clarifying it, making sure, but it's got to lead to something.
exactly.
So
And that
yes.
is,
All
that is
right.
a working session, which is fine.
Yeah.
Working
So how
session,
we're
1-to-1
leaving
is
this,
fine, like we are doing now. And,
yeah. So
that's
how
that's
we're
it.
leaving this right now is that you will let me know the first 100 students,
Okay.
and we will, is that what we were agreeing to?
I'm agreeing to, and probably I like this 110 number. So once my
Okay.
110 students get enrolled, I'm
Okay.
going to share the list
110.
of 110 people with you. I said, okay, these are
Yes.
the,
The
members
first
also.
set of
As a
students.
matter of fact,
Yeah.
I'm going to be sharing their data with you. So once they fill out their
Yes.
enrollment form and stuff like that, they
Right.
will be there.
Right.
For instance, I
Eh,
have, but I mean, 110 is a good number because, people are filling out their forms. I'm enrolling
right.
them in. But then,
Right.
once 110 number hits, then I will give you the batches of 110 to work on.
Yes. I like that because then it's doable that we can do, a series of them, right?
Yeah, yeah,
110,
series of them. As soon
intake,
as they come
intake.
in, they will be yours.
Yeah. And so you will be paying us, not them, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will take care of
Okay.
because they have become the member. They have already paid me,
Right. Right.
to pay,
So you
20
will be
Canadian
paying
dollars.
their, right, you will be paying their membership
Mhm. And I will be paying
and
for their membership and everything else they need, from I will be taking care
and
of that.
and the
No,
training
actually not. I mean,
sessions.
I'll be talking about membership, and I need a
Hmm.
number on the. Have you agreed on price of the life membership, Joanne? Because
Yeah,
you
we
didn't give
did
me the
for,
number.
yeah, we agreed on it. I think it was
I think it was
253.
253, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We
For
agreed
life.
on it. Yeah, yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
I remember. I remember.
Yeah. And then the curriculum
Correct, correct.
on that.
And
Right.
curriculum
The
will be,
training
at the
session.
members' price.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Whatever they need, you are going to be charging them at the members' price and charging
Yes.
them directly to the students, okay, or to the
Oh,
person who
I
needs your
will be
service.
charging the student,
Yeah, to the
not
students. But now
you.
what happened is this. What will happen is this. They are your members, and you take care of them like your members. Okay, but
Right.
now if somebody needs, for instance, somebody needs a course, and that gentleman, that member doesn't have the money to pay, then I will give them the kardanasna.
So we will
Okay?
be invoicing the student, not you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Regarding the courses,
The courses. Okay.
right?
Courses
So once
paid
if the student needs help,
by
they will come to me
student.
and I will give them the kardanasna, so they will pay actually. So it's become straightforward, very, very little complication. So
Yeah.
our financial relationship would be, I will pay you for the life membership of 253 when
Right.
people join Gamba for 5300 PGC program, and the people who are getting the annual membership of 10 PGC or 20 Canadian dollars, I'm going to share that data also with you. So 110,
Okay.
the first 110 people, once they enroll, it will come to you.
So the first 110 are our life members, correct?
No, no, whoever they are, doesn't matter. I expect them to
Okay.
be life members because, I
Okay.
will be
And you'll
actually My focus is joined to enroll not ordinary members. My focus is to enroll STEM graduates, link them with the businesses. So they are all the 5300 PGC member, and for your case, they are the life members.
Right. So it's the Gamba 50,000 that are the life members, and the 110 are just individual members.
No,
Is
no,
that what
no,
you're saying?
no, 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 no.
Okay.
What I mean, the question you were
Please.
asking was, let's
Yes.
separate them, okay? Let's separate them.
Yes, please.
Let's separate them, okay? What we will do is
Yes.
this: once I get the 110 ordinary members, I will send you a
Ordinary
separate
members.
list.
Homeowners. Homeowners.
Homeowners,
Okay.
mothers, whoever wants to, get the training.
Yeah.
So it's,
Okay.
that those 110 people, or
Yes.
we can say mothers operating the
Yeah.
family. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we want to groom them, So once
Yes.
they become they get the annual membership, they will be, shared separately. Okay. And we will
Annual
be
members.
paying you 10 Canadian dollars for them.
Right.
All right. So
Yes.
you exactly know
Yes.
the amount also, right? So 110
Yes.
multiplied by 10 Canadian dollar is what? 1100 Canadian dollars is what you will get.
Right.
So one invoice of 110, students.
And that's per year.
Yeah. Annual membership, right?
Yes.
And then when the STEM graduates enroll and the first
Mhm.
110 batch has been prepared, you will be giving them the life membership of $253 Canadian dollars.
Right. And in both cases, who do we invoice
For the membership, you will be invoicing me.
for the life membership?
Yeah, yeah. Or no,
And what about
both
the?
type of membership.
Oh, I thought you said they are going to pay.
No, no, no. I am paying for the membership, but they are
Okay.
paying me for
For the
getting the life
course.
membership.
Okay, so you're paying for. So this is TQM. Mhm.
Okay. After they become the life member of Victory Garden or the
Yes.
annual member of Victory Garden, then your
Yeah.
system works after that. I'm not involved.
Okay. And who pays for the courses?
And the students will pay. You invoice them directly.
So if we charge them
Whatever.
per course, let's say $250, let's
Correct.
say,
Correct.
they pay it.
They will
They
pay.
pay it.
They will pay.
Okay.
What I will do is this, and I mean, what I'm supporting them is this. Suppose a student has $100 and he needs $150, to do the course. I will give them the Kardan Hasna from my trust fund, and I will be paying them. They will be paying you.
So I understand the 110 mothers. That would be like our normal members that we have with anybody,
Correct.
except that you have $10 because of the 110, and we charge everybody else $25.
Correct. Correct. I agree. I agree. And I mean,
So
you have actually given me based on the, my target will be for you to give you 53,000 students.
right, it
53,000
was all
mothers,
based on
etc.
the volume.
Correct.
So the first part I understand. So no issues
Now,
there.
can I make a request before I forget?
Hold on. Okay,
I want to just make a
go ahead.
request, okay?
Yeah.
Since I gave you this Garg, site, so you can now work with Hashim in terms of enrolling these, all the North American mothers and everybody else, who wants to join you, they join them, and, you can train them in the site also, which we are actually acquiring.
Yeah. So we'll work that out and see how that works
You
out.
can look into that,
But
and then so that I don't have to really worrying about enrolling the North American members. You guys are there. Hashim is there. You take care of them, and I have given you the site. $2 million site is yours to do whatever you want to do with it with your program.
yeah, I'll work with him and see what he has in mind. But I wanted to go back on the cost.
Okay.
So the homeowners, mothers, is 110, and we look after them as members, right? So is our responsibilities. The STEM program, the life members, we agreed on the price of $253.
Yes.
Life membership paid by you. but their requirements will be different in terms of training than the homeowners.
Correct. I think whatever training you are giving to the homeowners, you
Mm-hmm.
make that a standard training for everybody. Give them the
Okay,
training also.
easy for me.
Correct, right?
Okay,
So you
yeah,
give them the training, and after
yeah,
they got the training, everybody got trained, in one standard program of Victory Garden.
right,
Mothers, Gamba, STEM students, everybody. Okay, so
yes,
everybody gets the
yeah,
training. Now, uh, whatever specific training which Gamba will require or the STEM
yes,
person will require, he will be working with you. He or she will be working with you. And then you can develop a program for them, and okay, this is what we can do, this is the cost of doing it, and solve, this is how we
okay,
solve your problem.
okay. So we don't have to then queue into any of your stuff. We just do what we
Yeah,
need
yeah,
to
just
do,
do your
and
part.
then, okay. Well, that makes it easy.
Very, very easy. There is no complication, because you have
Yeah,
already developed very, very organized program, and you just
yeah.
deliver your program, and that's
Okay,
it.
well, we're ready for that part of it
Yeah,
already.
correct. Hmm.
So you just let us know when they're coming and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I think
where we go.
we have agreed on most of the there is no outstanding questions from my side, and I believe there is none from your side also now. So we have
If
agreed
we
on
don't
the
change, if you
batches.
don't change, yeah, if you don't change the,
Nothing will change. So
okay,
110 ordinary members, once they get accumulated, I will share the list with you, and then you can plan accordingly. And in
okay,
the same way, same thing will go for life members. A batch of 110, once they get accumulated from anywhere in the world, okay.
mm-hmm,
And the only request I was making, that I will ask Hashem to work with you, so that all the ladies from our community, because we have got a lot of
mm-hmm,
ladies, entrepreneurial ladies in our Dawoodi Bora community,
mm-hmm.
who would love to become part of your program.
Okay, sounds
Because
good.
their emphasis is this now, that don't buy anything from outside, grow everything yourself.
I agree.
That's it. So they would
Yeah.
love to be part of this program. So that's the reason I
Mm-hmm,
was engaging Hashim, that there are
mm-hmm,
about we have got a community center in Toronto. I mean, you can definitely work with this lady. I will introduce you to that lady. You know that lady, right? What was her name? She's a realtor in Toronto. Okay, Tasneem.
mm-hmm. What's her name?
Okay, Tasneem Jivaji. She's from Africa basically, but lives in
No, I
Toronto
don't
in
know her.
Mississauga. So
I don't know her.
I will link her up with you, so she can
Okay,
start enrolling all the mothers of all the families living in Toronto.
okay.
That's it. So it's easy, for you to interact, work, and without wasting any time, things can move forward.
Yeah, we don't want to do the recruiting. We just want to do the training.
No, that's
So
what I'm saying. That
yeah,
I'm not giving you the
I understand.
responsibility of recruiting,
Yeah,
but since now
yeah.
you have a site, I don't know if as soon as I have a site in Toronto, or I mean, I know that I can get a site in Markham, which York University is making. Maybe we can
Mm-hmm,
utilize that site. It's going to be built. The campus is going to be built. I'm also working with Queen's University. Lloyd introduced me to Professor Fahim, and maybe Professor Fahim can provide us some site, for doing our
mm-hmm.
Victory Garden in that campuses, university campuses. So once we have
So
a site
what about the Wheel
identified,
of Life? You're not going to do the Wheel of Life at the
I mean,
campuses?
what I'm simply saying is this: I believe now that Wheel of Life is something which Lloyd considers as something coming from heavens. It's not doable on earth. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about what is doable on earth, because
Okay.
everybody knows Joanne Kerr and the Victory Garden program. Okay, so it's easy. It's on the earth. It's not in the heavens. And everybody knows, this lady Angela,
Mm-hmm.
who is doing these kitchens, in
Yeah.
the restaurant business. So that's an
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurial model which exists, okay, which
Right.
is there. So what I believe is this: that let's start with whatever is existing, and then
Yes.
we have agreed on this, that I'm not really going to be worrying about funding and anything like that about my program. from anyone. Once I have my money, I will build a model. And the first one, I believe, will happen in Nepal, in our SRIC site. So we'll invite people after it is done. Okay, this is what Dr. Paul Olivier's Wheel of Life Farm School looks like. Come and enjoy some immunity boosting food and play with the animals,
All right. Sounds good to me.
Fine. So I think we have really now chalked out everything. You don't need to change anything. You don't need to really spend a single second moment, in my program,
Right.
just move forward, put your victory gardens in all 100 and whatever 200 countries of the world, whether they are members of UN countries or not, but people live there.
Right.
Whatever you can do, Joanne, for people in Yemen, people who are really dying, okay, let me know.
Palestine.
Yeah, Palestine. Let me know that can we help those families out which are really, really in trouble and struggling now. And, if we can do that, that will be a great contribution from our part.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, with
that note, we
good
conclude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So enjoy the working week. I think the Sunday was gone today. And finally, you miss me, I missed you. And but finally we met. And I actually was bold enough to see the time.
To follow up.
And then I said, okay, Joanne is not sleeping anymore, as yet.
I like to follow up with things and get them all clarified. So
wonderful. So family is doing well and everybody's fine at your end, right?
Very excellent. Well. Yeah, thank you. And yours? Excellent. And yours?
And I'm looking forward to learn a lot from you regarding the aromatherapy and all that other wonderful things you do,
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Sure thing.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Okay, bye-bye.